Hi everybody, it's me, Laxon, also known as Chino and Artie. Today I'm going to do a review because you guys give me questions on my comments and I'm going to give answers. Well, my answer now is actually I'm going to do the review of Shaq Fu. This is the Genesis version, and I gotta say this is the version that I enjoy best. I mean, there's a lot of negative reviews about this game because I do have the Super Nintendo version, and my neighbor had the Genesis version. And this is back in the days. I remember this game came out for $49.99 retail by Electronic Arts. Okay, I saw this game in Circuit City for $49.99. A month later, it became a $19.99 game because due to the false reviews. And I mean, this is the Genesis version. I enjoyed this version a lot. If you play Samurai Showdown for the Super Nintendo, this is almost identical to it. The character size, and it's very well animated on the Genesis. And also, this is the best part about the Genesis version. Well, I don't like the music on the Genesis version. I gotta say, the sound sucks. But it has that cute theme to it. Like, Colonel's music was great. All their music are great if you hear it on the Super Nintendo version. The Super Nintendo version has a better sound. That's all you get out of the Super Nintendo version is better sound. The game is more fluent and sounds better. I mean, not sounds better. It actually plays more better on the Genesis. It's more faster. The scroll rate is better. And this is my favorite character, Colonel. He's part man, part machine with the goggles. Okay, I know. See how it scrolls? It's really nice, and you see character elements in the background, doing some little things. This guy reminds me of Prince of Persia. And this is the Sega Genesis version. It's the best way to play it, you know. It's just the sound of the Genesis. You know, that's what you get from that kind of 8-bit chip. Now, if Shaq Fu was released on the Sega CD, yeah, and then it has a little bit of animation there with their FMV video and all that, this game would have been a better result for the Sega, you know. But the Super Nintendo version, it has better sound. I'm gonna play by emulation. The Super Nintendo version, I gotta say, I hate it. I got that game. I didn't buy it. It was given to me as a birthday gift because, you know, that family who gave it to me as a birthday gift, you know, they were not that wealthy, but they bought me a video game, so I'm really thankful. And it was I know it's a bargain game, and it was. I gotta say, here's the Super Nintendo version, and listen to the sound. Okay, Electronic Arts. You actually hear the scratch. Now, this is the drawback about it. Yes, look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 characters. But listen to the soundtrack. It sounds really catchy. When you play the Sega Genesis version, when you buy it, it actually comes with the CD, Shaq Fu, a soundtrack. It comes with one single. And I gotta say, played on the Sega Genesis version, and I wish the sound would have been equal to the Super Nintendo version. That's what I would get. I would enjoy this game. Now, there's a lot of negatives about this game. Yes, the character sucks, the control sucks, and this and stuff. But when you play it on the Genesis, the control is actually a little more better. It's not too stiff as the Super Nintendo version. The Genesis version is more faster and more fluent. When you compare playing Mortal Kombat 1 and Mortal Kombat 1 on Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis, you'll notice the controls are so identical to Mortal Kombat 2 when you play Mortal Kombat 1 and the Genesis. So think about that. You actually can do juggles. Now this game, you might see your character flash from one character to the next. I mean, I enjoy playing this game as just a fighting game. I don't look at it because of Shaq. I actually play that character, Colonel, a lot against my friends, which we barely play this game. But when and Colonel's soundtrack sounds really cool. The cool part about this game, it had a great soundtrack, and it makes me want to think how it would sound. The Genesis version with all those characters with their own tracks would sound on the Super Nintendo version, but the Super Nintendo didn't have that much memory, or supposedly lousy programmers said, hey, let's just slap a few characters. But when you play the Sega Genesis version, you get a high roster character. That's why there was 2 reviews of it in the GamePro magazine. The GamePro magazine gave it 2.0 out of 5.0. And then when you play the Genesis version, they gave it, I kid you not, they gave it a 4.0 out of 5.0. And the Genesis version is the best way to play this game. I enjoy it a lot on the Genesis, and I got nothing negative much to say about the Shaq Fu game because I'm not looking at it because of Shaquille O'Neal. And during that time, he was a Miami player. He was a Miami a basketball player before he was a Lakers, you know. So this is the Sega. Hear the music? It doesn't sound good, huh? But look at this character roster. And the character's more fluent. Also, you get a bonus character of Beast. When you play the story mode, you actually get to fight a secret character. You get a smoke version of him. Basically, a blue version of Beast. So, it's kind of weird looking at Beast because, is he naked? I don't know. He's just red and dark. And look how fluent, I mean, my camera can only record in a certain amount of frames, but the characters are very fluent. So, this is the character roster. Now, I remember how they made this game. Before they released the game, GamePro showed some screenshots of this game being developed. And it was cool because it actually shows Shaq being pre-recorded, him doing some animation sprites, so that the animators can draw his character to be in that 2D standard, so they can get his motion capture by recording him on, I kid you not a green screen background. It was actually a red screen background, or orange, I don't know. But Shaq Fu, yes, in my rating out of 5.0, I give this game a 3.5 out of 5.0 for the Genesis. Now the Super Nintendo, I give it a 1.5 out of 5.0. Reason why is because the Super Nintendo version is not as fast as the Sega Genesis version. See, look at this is the Sega version. You see how it scrolls? It moves faster. Now, what lacks about the Sega version compared to the Super Nintendo? Like I said, the sound. So, the sound is not that good, but it has that catchy beat that makes you want to know how it would sound like on the Super Nintendo version. The Super Nintendo version was lousy controls. I mean, and also this game is unplayable on the 3-button. You gotta play on the 6-button controller. So, the story sucks. So, it just shows Shaq going on. Here's story mode. Going to a little kung fu studio. And then it's saying, out of the blue, it's like, hey, I'm gonna give you some tickets to this Chinese guy. And a little bit of advertising of Pepsi right there. I like Pepsi. I know you guys out there know I like Pepsi a lot. And so this is the adventure mode. Okay, I'm warning you guys right now. If you're gonna play dual mode, do not pick Shaq. Play the other characters so you can get some endings. Now, if you play Shaq, it's gonna tell you you gotta play this to get the real ending and the real story, because this is the Shaq story. Why? I mean, if those other characters, now I know those other characters are forgettable, but they actually gave a story for those characters. But there's no bio of any of those characters. That's another thing about this game, is that the characters didn't have any bio to them. They didn't tell them. They just tell them, oh, one's a voodoo witchcrafter, one is a Persian guy, but it's kind of weird that they cram all of them in one world. Okay, look, there's an industrial area. There's a Niagara Falls, and yeah, this is a complete mess. But I gotta say, the Sega Genesis version is the best way to play it. I like it, you know. And you can see the frame rate on it. It's running really fast, 60 frames per second. That's where that guy kind of looks like my dad. But my dad's a bigger guy. He's a bodybuilder, that's why. Now, look at Shaq taunting. His kicks. So, yeah, listening to that music, it's not as good as the Super Nintendo version, but. And like I said, just play the Sega Genesis version and kind of low down the music because the sound really sucks. And you can hear the grainy noise of Shaq saying, yeah! It doesn't even sound like him because Shaq has a deep voice, yeah! But you hear Shaq saying, yeah! No, and then it's not just him saying that. You're going to hear the bad guy, Seth, say that. But thank you guys for watching. And this is not really much of a rant. I mean, I got to say, Shaq Fu, I did enjoy that game a lot. Ooh! My book fell down. I enjoy Shaq Fu on the Sega Genesis. I actually did because during that time I was a big Shaquille O'Neal fan because he used to break the backboards when he plays. Then comparing him to Shaq or Kobe Bryant, oh, I gotta go Kobe, man. I'm from Los Angeles. I'm here from California, so LA Lakers, baby. LA Lakers. Karl Malone, sorry, man. I can't believe he retired in that year, but give it one more year so Kobe could have done it better. I thank you for watching.